Right, so welcome back, Dunstan Brand. Well played, Errol Green. Inside the PNP, some weeks ago or some months ago now, we started reporting on what we were picking up from our sources was a leadership race taking shape. And we like to throw around the term early juggling, and every Jamaican understands what early juggling is. From uptown to downtown, countryman, townman knows what early juggling is. We reported at the time that it was very early juggling. And, I remember one morning in this space, I read from something that I had taken custody of regarding two distinct camps forming inside the PNP. One forming behind and around the title holder of President, Mark Jefferson Golding, and the other one forming around Damian Crawford. Those lists weren't ours. It was what we got based on the people who trust us with information. And that sparked a whole heap of discussion on social media and elsewhere. What you saw with those contests for regional chairmen was a situation where the framework to facilitate the leadership contest was taking shape, was being put in. And the men, and at this stage we haven't heard a woman mentioned as a probable candidate. The men who would be candidates, they want to ensure that the support beam is theirs, that the floorboard is theirs, that the window for the structure is theirs. They want the whole structure to be theirs, because that way they can control who comes in and comes out of the house, who occupies the house, literally. At the end of those regional contests, it is perhaps fair to say that Crawford should be the happier of the two men. Cliff has spoken about this before. But yes, it does appear as if Crawford would be the happier of the two men. He has not declared any candidacy yet, for the record, because someone who say, well, nobody has spoken about any race. And what's funny is that after I mentioned those two camps, based on information that had come to us, I remember a senior comrade calling me and telling me about, well, what are you doing? No camps have formed, there's no leadership race, blah, 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 blah. And I listened and I said, boy, you just wanted to satisfy yourself that you did that. They said, well, I called George and I sought to set him straight. But you know what time it is. And like the Bible says, a time and place for everything under the sun. The Bible says, not true? Good. Nora, you have to keep me up, yeah? On the Bible. And there's a time for battles. There's a time for leadership to be sorted out. There's a time for the direction of country, party, group, constituency, even your household. A time for you to take a decision where the future direction is concerned. Comrades will have to make that decision come September. Some people wish that there was no contest, of course, because that preserves the status quo. Other people want a contest, even if it means that the status quo remains, but at least the contest will settle the noise that is building up around the leadership. And others want a contest because they want to change the status quo. They want to put the direction of the party into the hands of somebody new. So you have three approaches, three different desires among the people who have the power inside the People's National Party to determine the future of that political organization. There's a user of social media who, while not a prolific poster, the posts from this political user attract a lot of attention. The posts do, because it is felt in some circles that the poster is somebody influential who is using what we call a burner account. And if the burner belongs to who they say the burner belongs to, then, after the break, I'll share with you a post burner account, and which belongs to a certain influential figure in the PNP in this time. Stay with me. I'm being made to understand, very reliably informed, that a senior policeman was put in the silver bangle this morning as the authorities, law enforcement, probe that issue concerning cocaine missing from the old CTOC headquarters, that thing which precipitated the disbanding of CTOC. I was given a name, but I'm not going to release the name yet, but I was shocked when I heard the name. I had to ask twice if the source was sure. The source said yes, and another senior policeman is now, we're being told, sitting in his living room while investigators rummage through his house. So, fire, teal, mus. Yeah, that's happening now. I by the time we're done this morning, or this well, certainly before the midday news, well, so we'll have something for midday for sure. But if I get anything else, I'll tell you. What a thing. Anyway, so here's the thing I don't like. I don't believe that persons who are in an organization should make enemies of their colleagues in the organization who believe that a change of leadership is necessary. Meaning, just by virtue of somebody saying, yeah man, we think we want a new leader, we don't automatically hate that person. And then the hatred extends to those who are earmarked by the dissenting group as possessing the qualities to lead the group. I believe that if we're talking about healthy democracies, and if we pat ourselves on the back that we live in one, and that our politics has contributed to the democracy being very healthy, these are things we should encourage. I've said on this platform, not this program, NTM, that the challenges that he faced proved to be the making of Andrew Michael Holness. Remember, he came to the prime ministership in 2011 as a callow youth, technically strong man, a good MP, in command of policy, very bright, all of those things. Those things were never in doubt. But in terms of judgment, timing, use of temperament, the mastery of the politics, he never had those things. And callow youths don't normally have those qualities. A ruthless edge that manifests with a velvet touch, which he has now, he didn't have then. But the challenges that he went through, the whole Senate Gate thing with Arthur Williams and Company, the direct challenge by Audley Shaw, those things were the making of Holness. And the labor rights should thank those things, those processes, which Holiness was not allowed to skip even one step of. Those were the things that delivered the leader today that the laborites respect so much, and that Jamaica respects so much, hence him being given the endorsement 3 consecutive times when he asked him for his own mandate to lead. So I say that to say that my comrade friends, and I have many, okay, I don't understand why some people blanch at the thought of a leadership contest. And you demonize those who say, give us a new leader. And you make enemies of those who position themselves to offer an alternative leadership. Let the race materialize. Let them challenge Marky G. Let Marky G supporters say, yo, test this then dead. Any boy, any girl come, yeah man, we're going to deal with them in a fair race, mash them up, and move on together. That's the attitude. Because in this time, nobody can deny that the PNP tried to present a united front. But the back is disunited, and there's no attempt in the background to even pretend that there's unity of purpose and unity of direction, because it doesn't exist. And that will come together. The party's purpose, sense of direction, all of that will congeal only after this issue of leadership is put to bed. So if I were those supporting Mark Jefferson Golding to remain, because I believe that, listen, the incremental progress he's made, the things he's done for the party, it means that he deserves another crack at unseating this Holiness administration. If you believe that, prepare your horse for the race. Hack and trot him. Canter 9 furlongs. Give him some speed work in the mornings. 4 furlongs. 47 flat. Breezing. Come 6 furlongs in 1:12. With the jockey not using any whip. You prepare that horse. Take it to the starting gate. And say, hey, I don't know about who else not a racer. And then see me till me come back at the winner's enclosure. That should be the attitude. But instead, what we're hearing, people have been demonized. Because people don't want a contest. And if you don't get a contest, how you are going to settle the dissension that is increasing every time? And it's like, you know, when you have the lamp, the home sweet home lamp or whatever lamp, and you're going to say, turn up the wick, and you turn up the wick a little bit, and the more you turn the wick, the brighter the room get, the noise is rising. The murmurs will eventually turn into a shout. And the only way for the shout not to be one of dissent or dissension is for there to be a contest and all arguments settle. You feel you can unseat the incumbent? Come and try. That should be the attitude. But instead, man, no one no contest, bro. Look at this post from, before I put up the post, Kevin, people ask us a burner account. That's when, for instance, I'm George Davis. And I go on social media and I say, my name is Wise One, or Short Man, or Tall Man, or Fat Man. And I'm posting all kind of, you don't know who I am, you know. I hide my true identity. So when you use social media accounts like that, it is said to be a burner because you hide your true identity so you can speak in a certain way that you don't want people to associate with your real persona. Many people have burner accounts. I have a burner account. But my burner account is because of this thing where you go to some places and certain embassies ask you to give passwords for accounts on social media. I don't play. And even before that, I have never posted from my burner account. Never. I mean, even repost nobody something, retweet, never, not it clean. So there's no trail of me being nasty to people, cussing people under their post, pretending not to be George Davis. I just reuse it to read to people sending links to things on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. So I use it to be able to access those platforms so I can look at whatever is sent to me. But I have never posted on God and on my children. Never. But people use their burner accounts to create havoc. Because you think it's a random person, but it's a party person. It's a government person saying all kind of nasty things and hiding behind an assumed name and assumed identity. So, as I said, I've been told that a particular account which posts things pro-PNP, and nothing wrong with that, being pro-PNP, pro-JLP on social media. But the account is a burner account. And they say it's an influential member of the party who owns the account. Yeah? Put up the thing now, Kevin. So this is what the post says. For those of you who are not listening. It says, anybody who chooses to, the poster is D. Anthony. Anybody who chooses to challenge the party leader next year must be punished by the delegates and then put out to pasture. Those MPs that choose to align with that challenge must be replaced. You hear that? Those MPs that choose to align with that challenge must be replaced. It's obvious they don't appreciate the unity or the attempts at unity, so we will go with their preference of putting them aside. The people are tired of the infighting and hate the fact that even though the party leader gave you all a place on his team, you all still choose to fight him. This is the line now. This is the denouement. Since on a plan for mash it up, make all of us mash it up. So it's as clear as day. The man them say, well, all right. We know outside that strike matches here and there, try light here and there. All of us are going to participate in burning it down. We're ready for burn down the whole light. That's the attitude. And what's striking is, D. Anthony, I'm told, and I've been told this for several weeks now, and then a regular poster. Them say, D. Anthony, you know what? Let me not say. Yeah. D. Anthony. Kevin, put it up back. Put it back up. Take out some strands. Yeah? Because, you know, the last sentence is one. The last sentence is one. But they say, D. Anthony says, those MPs that choose to align with that challenge must be replaced. So, if the plan is not to go to a leadership election next September at annual conference, beat off the challenge and then not accept the MP as a candidate for the next election, how else are you going to move the MP? How else? So even within the desire to see off challenge and to punish those who challenge is a contradiction. Because you can't move MP so, except at the ballot box. Okay? It's obvious they don't appreciate the unity or the attempts at unity. Yeah? Those the people are tired of the infighting and hate the fact that even though the party leader gave you all a place on his team, you still choose to fight him. You all still choose to fight him. Well, hold on, Judge. Don't say man or woman. The person is saying, the man roping in the shadow cabinet, or the man roping in the junior shadow cabinet, or the man roping in the Senate, or the man roping in the NEC, or the various executive bodies of the party. Him do all of that, trying to show and say, listen, teamwork, and still, when you go and market, go buy a long fork and juke the man name back. We need to get rid of all of you. That's what D. Anthony is saying. And the last line will forever be the most significant in my book. Since on a plan for mash it up, make all of us mash it up. What a statement. It's not since on a plan for mash it up. If we don't get in the way of having a challenge, let us settle the argument in a leadership contest. And then, when that has been settled by the people authorized to select the leader, we go forward together. No. Fire with fire. Blood for blood. You draw a knife, me I draw a cutlass. You draw your .38, me I come with a M16 or a AK. You using light artillery, I'm going to strafe you from the skies with my plane. That a go on. All out. So, what we were reporting weeks ago, and I saw some people saying, nationwide inventing the news, nothing of this sort. No. What is this? Isn't this the clearest sign yet? If you never believe what happened in the regional races, and that was the clearest indicator that alliances had been formed and people were trying to design the framework for their own benefit, which of course everybody is supposed to do. I might can't quote the Bible like Noah, but you can't quote Shakespeare like me. And the man said, by the fair weather you make yourself, it is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest. This is the Golden Camp. Or the Golden Camp was, during those regional races, trying to frame the season in the orchard, how the fruits bear. Trying to frame the season for their own harvest. And if we are to believe that the Crawford camp was active as well, they were also trying to frame the season for their own harvest. What were they doing that for? To gather at the arena in September next year and sing Kumbaya all together? No, sir. Race a go on, man. Race a go on. And those of you who said weeks ago that we were talking nonsense, speaking out of our backsides when we said to you that a race was taking shape, you feel fool now, not true? Break time. Back with more after these.